Hey folks, my name is Jürgen, aka Nerd and Proud of It, and Destiny has brought you to my channel today to talk about the fact that Magic the Gathering is not just a game. Yes, the Game Piece faction will tear this video apart in the comments. Obviously, probably without even watching it. I will build in some keywords to see if they actually watch the video when they are commenting. But I really want to talk about this because recently, while I have been collecting more old cards, have been buying more old cards for my sets, a lot of unlimited cards, some nice antiquities cards, some cool artist proofs. People have been asking me a lot about the fact that, hey, you can just proxy these cards, you know? And that was more of a statement than a question, but the further you go with this, of course, a lot of questions have been asked, like, hey, why do you not just proxy these cards? And for me, the answer is very simple. I like to have the real thing. I do not have a problem with people proxying cards. I do not have a problem with people wanting to have cards to play the game. But I don't think it is absolutely necessary to own all the cards. I don't think Magic the Gathering is just a game. It's been a collectible since the beginning. And I don't know why only with Magic the Gathering that notion that it has to be a game only is so strong. Because if you look at, I got some examples here. For example, video games, you know? Got an old Mario game here, signed by Charles, the voice of Mario. He even made it out to me. People who collect video games are not that strong in their opinion, and this is just a game. This can be a collectible as well. And this is not even that old. I mean, it's GameCube. It's 2001. That's when the GameCube, I believe, was released. And the same goes for toys. Toy collectors are not that strong in their opinion about things being just a toy as well. You see many faces here from the original Masters of the Universe riding on Strider, or Stridor. I don't know how you called him in the US. Mask is wrong. Is on the wrong way around, isn't it? No, is it on the right way around? Like it should be. It should be. Let's see. It should be like this, right? That looks a lot better. Yes. To many people, this is a collectible. This is not just a toy. I can buy new Masters of the Universe for $15 and give him give my son the toys to play with. But why should I use the old toys? To me, it's not just a toy, it's a collectible as well. It's a difficult subject when it comes to Magic the Gathering because people are very easily offended by other people having a different opinion than they have. It's all nice and fun and we're all liberal until it is not your opinion people are talking about. I remember the Star Trek community went crazy when there was a theme song for Star Trek Enterprise. Only lasted 4 seasons and the theme song had somebody singing in it. And that was unheard of. The Star Trek community who praises themselves for being so open-minded, so futuristic. And it feels a bit like the Magic the Gathering community is, at least some people are kind of the same. Go ahead and proxy the cards you need if you want to. I personally don't do it. I never have done it. You couldn't say, I probably couldn't say never. I mean, I have tried decks in 95, 96 when I went to the German Championship and to Pro Tours, and I wanted to see if a deck works, and you couldn't just easily order the cards online. You had to trade for the cards. So I don't know, I put in like 4 basic lands and wrote Ernemjin on them because I didn't have 4 Ernemjins yet for a deck with Ernemjin and Armageddon or whatever. And I tried the deck, and then I purchased the Ernemjins later on before I went to the tournament. So I think that is kind of proxying, right? But what people are talking about when they talk about proxying cards nowadays is that they don't want to pay $800 for Gaia's Cradle, but they want the card to be part of their commander deck. And I personally am totally fine with it. Again, I don't do it because I prefer the real card. And in the past, we didn't play with the cards we didn't have. Like I said, if you tried the deck one afternoon with a friend, and you just wanted to see if the cards were working and if the combos were working, I guess that's kind of proxying, right? But in the end, you always got the cards you needed, and you didn't build a deck without having the original card. Again, by all means, go and proxy the card if you want to, but what is the problem of people like me collecting old Magic the Gathering cards? I'm not investing, I'm just buying some old cards to fill out my binders and enjoy remembering my childhood. Because that's what I grew up with, and I want to have a complete set of Unlimited, and I have a complete set of Antiquities. And yes, some of the cards are a couple of $1,000. Bad luck. It is what it is. If you need them for a deck, proxy them. It's allowed at our play table, but in the end, I don't get what the problem is. You don't need to own everything. Magic the Gathering is not just a game. Magic the Gathering is a collectible as well. It has been since the beginning. I always have been also, not always, good luck, or lucky me, it hasn't been always. I also have been getting comments like, yeah, it's only worth the paper it's printed on. No, it's not. It's very simple. Wizards of the Coast is selling you boxes for $300 now, collector boxes with 12 packs. If it's only worth the paper it's printed on, then those chase cards, those serialized cards in those collector boxes, those poster cards, those, I don't know what, secret legends hidden in there, wouldn't result in any sales. If Wizards of the Coast would believe that Magic the Gathering is only a game without the collectible factor, without cards having a value, then they could just simply make a set and sell the whole set as a package of 300 cards, like a board game here. It has cards in there, and then you can have the whole set, you print it, and you buy it 4 times. Buy it for $100 a set, and then, yeah, but then you can draft it. No, you can. We have been building towers. We have been building, how's it called? Set cubes out of old sets. A lot of people in my community have been doing that. You can draft with every single card you have if you want to, even after you open the booster pack. So that's not a factor. Of course it's easier. But the randomization, the collectability, the rarity of the cards makes Magic the Gathering what it is. And that's why it's not just a game, it's also a collectible. Oh, you're an evil investor because you think Magic the Gathering is not just a game. No, I never really invested in Magic the Gathering. I only buy what I think I like. And if I make some money in the end, because some prices go up of, I don't know, a box of, what is it, Dominaria Remastered, I guess. It's not United, it's Remastered, right? It's been going down in price ever since I bought it for $150. I think you can buy it for $130 now. And even then, I don't care because I bought it because I wanted to draft with it. I bought some old collector boxes like Kaldheim and Ikoria. I really, really love that set. And even Throne of Eldraine, because I wanted to open those boxes and didn't get around to it. And now they are worth more. Yeah, good luck. But it's not investing, you know. I always am a bit surprised by people thinking there are evil investors out there that buy thousands and thousands of collector boxes. And then everybody's buying Lord of the Rings collector boxes for $1,000, buying, I don't know, Kamigawa collector boxes for $300-400 when it came out. It was $200. You know, these kind of examples. What's the problem with a game being collectible? I mean, that's what Magic the Gathering is since day one. When I started in '94, and that's when it came out in Germany. We weren't able to buy any Alpha, Beta, Unlimited, even Arabian Nights boosters antiquities neither. We had one booster box of Legends in our LGS and our small LGS, and we each, all the Magic the Gathering fans that were coming there every single day, buying revised, mostly revised, and then a little bit of the dark, that was a little bit available. We were allowed to buy one Legends booster pack from that booster box, because then everybody had a couple of Legends cards, and that was really cool. And it was okay. Why is there the notion that nowadays you have to have everything? You have to have the same deck as the person that can buy that Chaos Cradle. I mean, find ways around it. People found ways around dual lands as well. Been talking a lot about dual lands recently. It's really weird that a lot of people are triggered by that, and some other people are like, yeah, this is really cool. These are cool lands. I want to get some one day. There are still many people out there, luckily, that are okay with the fact that Magic the Gathering is not just a game, that it is a collectible. And that's good. I don't really see why some people don't see that it's good for new players. Because if you buy a fucking Chaos Cradle for $800, it probably will be around $800 next year as well. If you buy, I don't know, if you have bought Force of Will for $150 2 years ago or 3 years ago. I have to look up when exactly it was at its height in price. You now own a Force of Will that's probably around $40. So what's wrong with cards holding value? I don't say cards should go to infinite amounts or whatever. And if it happens with like people paying millions for an alpha graded 10 Black Lotus, it's because it's fucking rare, and it's because it's fucking collectible. Why do you want to own real cards? Yeah, why does anybody want to own a real old video game? Why does anybody want to go to a museum over here in Amsterdam, to the Van Gogh Museum, and look at the paintings if you can also look at it online or buy a print for $2? The entry ticket is more expensive than buying a poster online, for example, because it's the real thing. It's with Magic the Gathering. It's personal history. It's history of trading card games in general. It's collectability. It's owning a piece of what you used to love, what you grew up with. What is so difficult about that? What is so strange about the fact that this is not just a game? And not to me only, to a lot of people, to millions of people, I think. I really don't understand. And it's okay. You can have your opinion, I have mine. And maybe I'm wrong, and every card should be 50 cents, but that's not how Wizards of the Coast operates. That's not how this company works. They are there to make money, and they are not there to bring you a game. If you want to have a game and own every single card that is out there, buy a card game like Dominion, buy a card game like Marvel, the where you buy these boxes, these kind of board game. It's not a trading card game. This kind of Marvel Unlimited, no, Infinity, I don't know. It's a really good game, by the way. If you just want to have the same as everybody else, then it's better to buy a board game than a randomized trading card game, collectible card game. If it's now a TCG or CCG, doesn't matter. People are trading, back in the day, we were lucky because we could trade for a Black Lotus. And even then, in 94, when I started, a Black Lotus was $150, $200, and the Mox around $100. Because people were recognizing the rarity. And 30 years later, it's not $100 anymore, but the Mox is like 2,000, 2,500 if it's in okay condition. It's not even, compared to other things, that steep of a price rise, actually. I think some things have gotten way more expensive when it comes to the collectible field or to the art field, or how you want to call it. It is what it is. Some old board games, some old video games, some old statues, some Lego. Nobody's complaining that these things get more expensive because they are not available anymore. And in Magic the Gathering, but it's a game. No, these old board games are games as well. This old Lego is a toy. This Masters of the Universe figure is a toy. It is what it is. So, yeah, it's not just a game. And again, my opinion. You can have yours. But I think the reality shows that it's not. Because otherwise people wouldn't pay the prices either for singles they want, or for new booster boxes that are really, really expensive. And Wizards of the Coast is making a lot of money and bringing in record sums of profit every single year. And just when they tried to overdo it, they had a little bit of setback, and now they're keeping a low profile, if you have noticed. Yeah, interesting discussion. To me, I like collecting. I like collecting old cards. I'm fine with paying $400 for an unlimited Bird of Paradise. I will link to that video at the end of this video. One of my most recent purchases. I can buy one for $5 to $10. I know, but I don't want to. And the same goes for the reserved list. I don't want it to be gone because it ensures some cards hold value. And of course, Shivan Dragon Alpha is worth a couple of $1,000. But if you look at an Alpha Black Lotus, it's worth a lot more because it's on the reserved list. And I think the reserved list, especially for dual lands, especially for some of the key cards that are faces of the game, are really, the reserved list is really, really important. And that's a whole different discussion than the whole game not just being a game, but also being a collectible, also being more than just a game. I don't know if it even was intended to be only a game. Otherwise, the whole setup would have been different. I mean, they probably would have thought about being able to sell booster boxes and through the randomization sell more, but I'm not quite sure if that extra element, if you take it away, Magic the Gathering would have even been that successful as a game. I don't think so. I think everything Magic the Gathering did that was unique, the randomization, the rarities, the reserved list, made Magic the Gathering successful in the end. And you can neglect that, you can say that's not valid anymore, but it is. I mean, it still upholds the whole Magic the Gathering economy and the whole approach and the whole fact that Wizards of the Coast is profiting still from that whole setup. So yeah. Let me know in the comments what you think. I'm very curious. Another one of those rambling videos. If you have watched it till the end, which the Game Piece faction definitely does not, then because they see a title and they just bash the video, which is fine. Hit the dislike button. Just gives me more views. I don't care. Then if you have watched it until the end, use the code word Yoda. And if you're one of my YouTube channel members or Patreons, then you can even use the Yoda. I think only the YouTube channel members, of course. You can even use the Yoda emoji, then I know as well. Folks, Magic the Gathering is not just a game. Stay healthy, stay frosty. Thanks a lot for listening. I talk to you next time. Bye bye.